Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Limbus Company video. Today we're going to be fighting Lei Heng, the new Reflectrial boss, and seeing just how well we can beat him. Bad speed rolls here, honestly. Unfortunate. Like we genuinely, well, technically we can clash against him here, but it's like with Heathcliff, but I don't know. Is it better to clash with Heathcliff than it is to let Lei Heng get an unopposed attack off? Probably, because it also makes it so that well, it's actually targeting Rhodia here, so she gets the evade. It's fine. It's fine that that's unopposed. Anyways, Lei Heng as the Reflectrial boss. This is actually a pretty good Reflectrial, all things considered, because, well, generally speaking, it doesn't matter much as to what team you're actually using in order to beat Lei Heng, because, well, unlike, you know, Ricardo's Reflectrial, you're not restricted to basically use a very specific team in order to have a decent time against the boss. You do get some benefits from using specific teams, like specifically in the first phase, if you're using Rupture, then you'll perform a lot better, and in the second phase, if you're using Burn, you'll, again, perform a lot better. But it's not necessary to actually use those. You can do pretty much anything you want. And it should generally be fine. And a single paralysis. Awkward. Always awkward to get a single paralysis. What's next? Who's dying next? I think I have it set up so it's Don Quixote and Ishmael here. Which basically means, since they're all dying to Ryoshu, you kind of want to make sure that they actually take all of Lei Heng's unbreakable coins, pretty much. The fact that he has a single paralysis is super awkward. I don't like that. But what can you do? Anyways, I think this is good. The first phase of this fight is honestly pretty easy. I say that as we're losing clashes, but it really shouldn't be that bad. I feel like we're just getting kind of unlucky here. Also, this team might not be the best choice, all things considered, because the main gimmick of this fight, and basically what you're kind of forced to play into, is Lei Heng's prey status effect that he inflicts upon the identity that dealt the most damage to him in the previous turn. That status effect gives so many debuffs that basically when you are inflicted with it, you're kind of forced to use the defense skill in order to actually do anything at all, really. And this right here is kind of awkward. We're not really in a good position to be able to clash against that without using an ego, so like, this team isn't really that strong, all things considered, until until you actually start getting Ryoshu up and running. And that's pretty much why it's going to be such a struggle here against Lei Heng. Because her main gimmick is effectively that she ends up soloing every fight she's in. But because of the price status effect, if she's the only one there, well, obviously, she's going to be the one inflicted with the price status effect all the time. And thus she gets all of the debuffs. Like, this is the big problem with the price status effect right here, is like the one character you clash against in the previous turn, so they're literally the only character that does any damage at all into Lei Heng. And then they're a character where they get their skill 3 in the bottom slot, so you're kind of forced to use their defense skill, but you don't want to use their defense skill because it's their skill 3, you know? It's just unfortunate.
그쯤 해줬으니 포장지 한번 벗겨야겠군. 이제 갖고 놀기 틀렸다.
방금 건 아무 쓸모도 없었어. 바보. 심장을 노려.
I really don't know how this is going to go once everybody's dead. Oh, nice. It's fun to have Sinclair die early, since that means that we can actually keep Isong alive the entire time. That's probably better than letting him die, honestly. Like, yeah, Ryoshu would get an extra coin on her special super skill, but we just keep access to the, Furioso attack from Isong. That's cool.
이 순간이 닿아도록 베어내리라. 그럼 안녕, 몰아친 것을. 처절한 원망. 돌아오고 서 있으면 못 떨어진다. 당신도 갈래로 묻어 정하다고? 이게 뭔 개... 뜨거울 거다. 조금 많이. 내 검은 가져갈 수 없을 거다. 약해 빠져가지고.
We want to clash with Gregor here exclusively because, you know, Lei Heng has 3 Dazzle, and that means that with his skill 3 he gets the plus coin, which otherwise he would be unable to get.
낮도 밤도 지워 숨이 닿도록 베어낼 것. 이 순간이 닿도록 베어내리라.
I think I definitely prefer normal mode rather than hard mode in the Reflectrials, exclusively because of the health buff that they give to the enemies. Like Lei Heng gets an 80% health buff in this fight, and yeah, you can just see here, like, it's taking us honestly way too long to get out of the first phase. And it's not because this fight's like any harder than it should be or anything. It's literally just that 80% health buff.
제가 도움이 될지는
And that's
모르겠지만
basically it.
노력해 보겠습니다.
그대는 어격정의 마음을 모방하였어.
But we get the Furioso off, which is very nice. It's probably gonna trigger the phase transition, especially with Ryoshi's skill going off at the same time.
재현 종료.
이 순간이 다하도록 베어내리라. 사냥 끝. 불사이군. 그럼 안녕. 몰아친 것을
Definitely an overkill turn.
처절한 원망.
방금 공격은 좋았어. 이대로만 계속해보면 좋을
나의
텐데.
이 상처를 기억하고 있으면 좋겠구려.
But there's the first phase completed. Into phase 2.
이걸 못 죽여? 나 없는 사이에
Do we want to kill
솔다토 수준 많이
Isong here?
떨어졌네.
Because if I use a defense skill with Ryoshu, he dies. I don't really want to, but I also don't really have a good skill to clash with either. Except Regret. Regret's always a good one. I could do that. How does this thing gain attack weight? Inner self. Inner strength. Yeah, he doesn't have enough for that. To gain attack weight.
구속구가 나의 폭력을 저지하기엔 턱없이 모자르지.
Basically, waste of a turn there does
먼저 끝내고 돌아오는
almost nothing.
줄게. 물론 회사 카드로.
그대는 어디까지 가고 있을지.
One of the things that you can actually benefit from quite a bit
숨이 다하도록
in this fight is Bind, because Lei Heng does get a lot of debuffs when he is inflicted with Bind, so it not only makes it so that you could actually clash against him with all of your identities, but it also makes it just easier to deal with him.
순간이 다하도록 베어내리라.
So having some identity that can inflict Bind, just like one, honestly, would make this fight slightly easier. Yippee.
어머,
And yeah, there goes Mercil.
맞야, 이건 좀 받아볼 만한 값이야.
Oh my goodness. Oh, these people are being so stupid.
게다가 진 생명은
Are we at that point? Yeah, we're at that point where we basically can't do anything anymore. The team's good. I wouldn't say it's particularly good in this fight because of the price status effect, and honestly, they just take too long. It was nice to try out the House of Spiders team, but ultimately, they are not strong enough to beat Lei Heng in his own home.
그대는 어디까지
이
가고
순간이
있을지.
다하도록 베어내리라.
Solid effort, though.
낮도 밤도 지나
숨이 닿도록 베어낼 것.
Got him to half health.
세 번 베어낸다. 과거를 1000번 간주하여 미래에서 1000번 거슬러
And yeah, it really is just the price status effect that's
1000번
making it so much harder than it would be otherwise.
돌아올 서 있으면 목 떨어진다.
실화를 기교의 치중에 구조와 균형이라는 기초는 완전히 망각했나요?
It really just counters the House of Spiders Ryoshu. Because, yeah. If you only get one character clashing against everything, they kinda can't really do it. So we're gonna just lose this clash because we have to.
해고 감흥도
이 순간이 닿도록 베어내리라.
We lose the clash because we are inflicted with the prey status effect, but we still get some really good damage off.
몰아친 것.
Actually, did we... We actually ended up winning that clash. That's hilarious.
저자가 원.
Oh well.
체력이 많이
That's the House of Spiders versus Lei Heng. Not the greatest, honestly.
이 기세로 계속 나아가보자.
Too relying on Ryoshu and relying on a single identity in this fight is not a good idea. Alright, round 2. Sinking.
일이라도 있었던 거야?
Do I want Rodeo to start it? To stay at positive sanity? Some of these characters are a little bit awkward with their actual skills. Also, I don't really want Rodeo to stay at positive sanity. This should be fine.
당신
Sinking's not the greatest in pretty much any Reflectrial fight because, well, it just doesn't really do any damage. Like the only thing about sinking that actually does damage is either Butterfly or Sinking Deluge, and because every status effect is capped out at like 30 potency, it means the actual damage you're capable of dealing with both Butterfly and Sinking Deluge are just so unbelievably small that it's almost not really worth using half the time. Like, Sinking Deluge can do like a maximum of like, what is it, 300 damage or something like that? But that only happens like once every 6 turns or so. So, yeah, not the greatest. One thing that you do need to do in this fight, specifically, is you need to clash against like pretty much both of these envy skills before the gluttony one, since one part of Lei Heng's passive is that if he has any ammo at all, more than 3 ammo, the gluttony skill does like 100% more damage. Which is not something you really want to do most of the time. This is a much better off turn though. And because we're not relying on like a weird gimmick team like the House of Spiders, we can actually sort of play into Lei Heng's main gimmick this time around of actually using the defense skill on whatever character has the prey status effect. Like, as long as you're not attacking, or I should say, as long as you're not letting Lei Heng attack whatever character has the prey status effect, you should generally do pretty good in this fight. And that's why the House of Spires is just not the greatest.
반드시 밀려올 테니.
Because it's very difficult to do that with that team.
주목과 비. 코코.
Ishmael's probably going to be the prey next turn.
무슨
태어난 곳으로 돌아가라.
새로운 퓨전 장르인가? 액션 이건 좀 받아볼 만한 값이야.
살고자 하는 모든 것들과 함께 무덤으로 돌아가라.
아, 그 공격은 적합하진 않아 보이네요.
여기가
관리법에
복속일 것.
적어둬야. ペンバスカンパニーの皆さん、この勢いに乗って勝ちに行きましょう。
And there's the Savage Tiger Slayer's Perfected Flurry of Blades. Nasty skill there. This is gonna hurt. Can we use Solemn Lament? No. Sun Shower is good though. He does have 35 sanity, so I think we just have to hope Sun Shower can do it. Yeah.
사고될 시간이다. 잔무에.
Scary. This does give us... Sunshine was actually really good. I didn't even think about the protection that we get from it, but yeah. We get protection, everybody's using the defense scale.
한치의 오차도 없군요.
This attack shouldn't do too bad. Too much damage.
누구도 잡아 맥힐 각오를 했어야지. 한건 제대로 했는데.
I feel like... I really feel like... Heathcliff here is just doing literally nothing.
당신 짝패군요.
Honestly, this team... It's fine, but yeah, sinking is just not the greatest in Reflectrial. You really just need the strongest identities in these fights, because the only thing that matters is raw damage. So if you're reliant on status effects, you're basically never going to do anything in these fights.
맞야, 이건 좀 받아볼 만한 값이야.
We are doing something, but like at this rate, it's almost guaranteed that we're going to be forced to use a third team. We just don't have the DPS for it.
얼마나 비었겠나.
보세요, 관리자님.
나아가 주게.
진짜. 격발. 속에서 단내가 칩니다.
It really does feel like just, you know, death of 1,000 cuts type situation where we're currently at. Isong's dead here, by the way. There's no way he's surviving that.
이 처참한 보호와 호접이 그대를 화장할지니. 그 후로 아무것도 남지
돌아오고 서 있으면 목 떨어진다. 잘 됐군.
이곳
And there goes Gregor.
벗어날 수.
질렸어. 실진이 지멘샤確認. 스킬 탈퇴 お願いします.
이렇게 머리 쓴 사람은 질릴까?
생멸.
역시 싸움을 뜨거운 힘 경기지.
다치면 떨어지는 법이지.
And everybody else is going to die here.
당신 짝패군요. 이것도
I do really like normal mode a lot better. If it was normal mode, we would have won already. The health threshold is just way too... It's so annoying. 80% health boost is too much. Way too much.
잠잘 시간이야.
세상에, 여러분들 괜찮으세요?
I really do feel like I'm just not able to do anything, really. It's partially due to the team that I picked, but also it's just... this fight. Same reason I don't really like extreme mode, to be honest. It's just way too much health. It's not fun to wail on an enemy for like 20 turns ad nauseum. Like, is this difficult? Not really, honestly. It's just tedious because there's just so much health to get through.
이 몸을 온당히 벌하심에
So yeah, unless you're using the strongest identities you have access to.
받아들이나이다.
This fight tends to be particularly tedious.
폭풍이 사라질 때까지. 너희에게 안식은 없다.
囚人が退却できませんでした。
Oh hey, we actually got
探偵さんには囚人を
the wild hunt to trigger.
ましたよね。
Sometimes I forget that that's a gimmick that Heathcliff has.
어두운 무지를 열어줬다.
쓸데없는 관심 필요 없다.
What can I really comment on? Nothing really. We really are just spamming
것도 아니고
whatever we can
전원 전투.
just to stay alive. There's no real strategy here other than win clashes, honestly. And that's it.
제압체에게 맞는 공격 수단도 못 고르면서 왜 징계팀에 남아 있지?
I guess this is the main reason why you wanna actually use the bonuses given to you and why you don't want to just use whatever the hell you feel like it, because I am really feeling how tedious this is.
돌아오고 서 있으면 목 떨어진다.
실수했으면 되져야지.
We are doing okay, though. Always have been, but here's another one of the Savage Tiger Slayer's Perfected Flurry of Blades. Can we actually survive? That's the question. Probably. I mean, we definitely can. Also, Mariachi Sinclair. Here he is. Funny. He was never supposed to show up.
어두운 무지를 열어줬지라.
차라리 아무것도 남지 마라.
We still do have technically like 3 more turns into this fight, I think.
마음에 킬 각오를 했어야지.
I don't know if this team is capable of doing 1,000 damage in that time, though. Like, we've been struggling to do that much damage
금방이라도 굴기 조각이 될 것 같은데
just
괜찮을까?
normally.
이 또한 지식이 되도록.
흐릿한 등화, 곱게 접은 종이에 번졌으니 식구의 하늘, 용이 되어 빈 벼로에 남았구나.
Honestly, it's funny to say it, but just the fact that Mariachi Sinclair showed up gave me a massive morale boost.
풍과 함께
It's funny, like I was feeling kind of bad about how this fight was going, and then Mariachi Sinclair showed up, and now I feel great. Maybe he is the best identity in the game.
이 구속구가 나의 폭력을 저지하기엔 턱없이 모자르지. 어때야? 이건 좀 받아볼 만한 값이야. 가장 당연한 수고도 다시.
직원 하나가 더 이상
2 more turns. Can we actually survive it, though? That's the question. Probably not.
벌써 약해진 거야?
Hong Lu can pretty much tank everything on this turn. Let's do it.
어두운 무지를 열어줬지.
Rhodia dies here. Oh well.
깨우지 마.
She did good. Hong Lu dies. Ego activates.
여기서 멈출 필요 없어. 우리는 충분히 계속 싸울 수 있으니까.
제대로 해. 듀라덱 죽어버리면 날이 탈 거잖아.
And does Mariachi Sinclair live to the end?
어떻게라도 만들려는 거야?
Probably not, because I don't think his evade will be able to beat Lei Heng's gluttony skill on the next turn.
하늘 가리고 이 한 몸 바쳐 땅으로 모든 피 쏟아내리리. 요리에 대한 지식.
방금 건 아무 쓸모도 없었어.
He did manage to survive to the last turn. Okay, yeah, it's the Savage Tiger Slayer's Perfective Flurry of Blaze here. Can Faust win this clash for us? No, it's unlikely. Yeah, there's no way we can win this clash. But maybe if we're really, really lucky.
머리통을 박살내주마.
Nope. Well, he survived to the end. Godspeed, Mariachi Sinclair.
이번 경험은
You will be missed.
명분이 될 겁니다.
Alright, enough messing around.
스승님을 행복하게 할 수 있다면 이
This time, we win.
꿈을 나눌 수만 있다.
100% of the time. It's a little tricky. Because burn here is more than a little dependent on actually having a burn stack in order to do anything. Like, I kind of feel like ego spamming is very necessary on this first couple of turns. Maybe I should use Capote, actually. Yeah, using Capote here for Marcel is better because it implies a burn stack, which gives us all of our conditionals. It also makes these skills a little bit stronger, so. Yeah, using Capote is definitely better than Regret. Even though Regret is technically the stronger ego in terms of buffing Marcel, it's Capote is better for buffing everybody.
역시 니놈 말대로 어떤 사람이라도 맞출 수 있는 마법의 탄원이.
태우고 싶은 곳을 태울 뿐이요.
보라고 서 있으면 목 떨어진다.
이런 기계의 치중의 구조와 균형이라는 기초는 완전히 망각했네. 새벽녘
I don't like using the skill 3s
제가 보태죠.
on the first turn, but don't really have much of a choice when it's in the bottom skill slot. I guess technically I could have restarted. Try to get better skills with them, but meh, whatever. It's fine.
승객 때 뭔가 기분 좋은 일이라도 있었던 거야?
Kinda have to use a lot of egos, honestly, even though I don't really want to, but that's what happens when you're not the strongest.
잠시 아파도 참았지. 장담할게요. 사람만큼 훌륭한 음악을 만들어주는 건 없어요.
Only a little bit longer. 400 health. He should die this turn. I mean, Magic Bullet alone does like 200 damage, so. And that's only really taking into account the Dark Flame. Not really everybody else's attacks, so yeah. I think we win this turn. No, we definitely win this turn. Should have just used this team instead of sinking, but whatever. It was fun.
잠깐 정지. 너 기념품을 두고 갔잖아. 거기 그대로 있어. 하나 기념품을 집어넣어 줄 테니까.
흔들리는 일 따위 없이 가로막는 모든 것을 침묵시키고 지평선을 따랐나.
Yep, GG. Should have used the burn team from the beginning. Sinking just isn't it in Reflectrial. I'm sorry if Sinking's your favorite team. It's just not good in Reflectrial. Unless, of course, like, the Reflectrial boss is actually built to compensate for sinking. Let's see who did the most damage. Probably Ryoshu. 700 for Ishmael. Yeah, see, they just did, like, nothing. And Ryoshu out here with 5,000. Yep. Like, seriously. She did more damage than all of these guys combined. It's ridiculous how bad Sinking was in that fight. Oh well. Anyway, that's it for me. Like and subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!